The number one question I get asked, whether it's in comments, DMs, on the street, emails, is how do you stay so confident? How do I obtain confidence? This is the biggest thing that I struggle with, is confidence. Can you share your tips and tricks with me? But I wanted to come to all of you today and make some new content. I have been spending the last month in upstate New York, and it's been glorious. I feel like I'm always talking about confidence.
Oh, here she goes, talking about confidence again. And what does it mean to be confident?
I'll explain to you why I'm constantly talking about confidence. The idea of confidence can't come from one singular thing. Meaning, if I'm sitting in front of the mirror constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean every day, picking apart my body, I'm of course not gonna become confident after doing that. If I'm describing my body in ways that are negative or unloving or rude, of course I'm gonna walk away from the mirror every single day, not loving myself, and my confidence is gonna plummet. Now, this is just a body example. There's so many different things. It could be how smart and intelligent you are, or your personality. The list goes on and on and on, because confidence is something that literally oozes into the cracks of every single thing that we do in life. You have to actually ask yourself, what is it that I'm not confident in? And then hone in on that particular subject to gain confidence. But most importantly, I'm excited for you to be on this gator with me. Isaac calls it the go-go. Welcome to lunchtime. I think sandwiches are underrated and they're just so freaking good. So there are people who grew up hearing your body isn't good enough. And those who heard that growing up, first of all, I'm sorry. Second of all, I heard it too. And it wasn't just from the modeling industry, it was from family members and friends. And this is something that now you have to take on as a daily practice to fix. If it's something you want to fix, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to fix it in the first place. You've been programmed to believe what society, what friends, what family, and now yourself has told you who you are over the last decade or maybe two. You're in this adult body that feels left out, less than, not worthy. And it's gonna trickle into your relationships, your work, how you treat yourself, and that's not okay. And you have to make it a daily practice to really get your mind out of that. We're gonna get to a daily practice, but I wanna talk about the next type of person who is dealing with confidence right now, and that's the younger generation, Gen Z, and even younger than that. And it's the kids who are watching their parents talk to themselves. And I have to say, this is something that my mom really taught me that I didn't realize she taught me until I was much, much older. But she never talked bad about herself in front of me as a kid. In our house, nothing was about looks. It was about how strong you were and how capable you were. Parents, if you're watching, remember your kids are soaking up literally everything that you say. So what is your keys to confidence? Well, definitely affirmations. You have to reprogram yourself into understanding who you are today, because if you allow the world around you to tell you who you are, you will be those people. But you have a choice. Repetition and a conscious effort is so beneficial. There's nothing that's gonna just be handed to you. This is something that you're gonna have to choose as a daily practice. And everybody's affirmations are completely different. I've talked a lot about my own, and mine are, I am bold, I am brilliant, I am beautiful. You can ask yourself for something, but you're never gonna get it unless if you put the work in. So think about what kind of work you wanna put in and make it a part of your daily practice. Okay, so things that I'm still currently learning about confidence, because I have to say, as your body is changing during pregnancy, there's just a lot you have to go through. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. I never lost the baby weight because it was baby weight plus pandemic weight. And I was really going through it with this extra 20, 30 pounds. I was kind of going up and down with that extra 10. And I really had to keep going back to what I kept preaching to everyone was affirmations, love yourself. You guys, I understand it feels like BS sometimes. It feels like you can't really wrap your head around loving yourself some days. I get it. I'm on this journey with so many other people, and I'm so grateful for social media and for YouTube and anything digital where we can have these open conversations that people like my mom's age were never able to have. I'm gonna go do some workouts. I'm in the gym. I've got maternity pants on. I pulled out the maternity pants, baby. Have you ever had an English muffin with dairy-free butter and jelly on top? Because it's actually pure heaven. I was thinking more about confidence, and I was thinking about off days, because they come and they will always come. But it's a matter of how do you handle your off days, and what do your off days look like? I actually call them like my funk days, like I'm in a funk or whatever. I think when I was younger, my funk days felt like they probably happened a lot more because I wasn't mature enough to understand like what was happening when I would be triggered by something. Because a funk day is usually, for me, triggered by something. So it would be like I didn't get a job. A guy that I really liked didn't ask me out on a second date, or he treated me like crap. And it would just like trigger this day that I wouldn't want to get out of bed, wouldn't want to talk to anyone. Lights would be off. I would totally binge eat literally anything that I wanted. I would get like a gourmet pizza and I would dip the crust in Nutella. How are you going to get out of your funk day and choose you over this day, but also know that you're allowed to have a funk day? So I feel like it is important to give yourself some like lenience and say, okay, these are my parameters. I am in a funk and I am going to watch this amount of TV. And like, you can give yourself, like, you can say like, I'm going to do 4 hours or I'm going to do 6 hours, like, but give yourself a limit. Just tell yourself when it's over so that you know that there's a ringing alarm going off in your head. When 6 p.m. hits, it's like, okay, I said I was gonna get up. I said I was gonna get up. Just do yourself a favor. Now, sometimes affirmations feel already like you're going out of your comfort zone and you're kind of like rolling your eyes like, back fat, I love you. Guess what? I never did affirmations on my funk days because I knew that it wasn't going to get me out of my funk. I was just going to probably fall into it a little bit farther, and I was going to be mad at myself for lying to myself because that day affirmations weren't going to get me out. But I chose the next day to start them up again because it was just that day, that one allowance of that funk day, and then it was back to regular scheduled program. I had to literally choose to not go totally down this rabbit hole of telling myself who I wasn't when I had been doing all this work of telling myself who I was and knowing who I was. And I was the only one that could stop it. All right, so we know that everybody's different, and we know that everybody's likes and things that make them feel good are completely different. And I hope that you know that self-care isn't about making a bath and just putting in a bath bomb and going to the spa and, oh, things are going to feel so much better now. Yes, those things can work, but having self-care and fixing your funk day and getting out of the spiral is really about doing something that makes you feel good and having that little moment of the day for you. This is really hard for parents, by the way. I'm just learning how to have my me time. This is crucial for getting out of a funk and making those funk days less and less. And maturing out of them and actually really getting to know yourself, because that's really what it's all about, getting to know you. I really hope that this is all helpful in some way, some shape or form, that it's actually giving you some ideas to maybe go out and figure out what makes you feel good, something that is important for you and your mental health, something that's gonna get you out of bed, make you feel better. I hope also that you're doing your affirmations, because words have power and they can either make or break a situation, your life. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's real. It's real. It totally, affirmations totally changed my life. And taking control over the words that come out of my mouth have truly manifested in such a big way that I am such a believer in watching your tongue and making sure that whatever you say is only going to bring you life.